blockchain for Liberland. Andrea Taini, founder of Multiversum. Now, Taini worked as a senior developer for IBM, please. After this experience, Mr. Taini worked as a senior software modeler for Ericsson. He then continued his career with Oracle Micros, where he had a position of software architect. Andrea was also called by the Hungarian government to lead the research and development department of the public firm owned by the Ministry of Internal Affairs that develops almost all of the Hungarian public infrastructure software. That is quite an interesting background.
Yes.
Mr. Taini, please welcome Andrea, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Hi all. So yes, I worked for Hungarian government, and it was at that time that I started a cooperation with Liberland, and I proposed myself to it to help Liberland to build their e-government. So when I started cooperating, I met a lot of other interesting guys. Between them, there were Alex Borodic and a couple of guys from Ethereum that were interested to bring blockchain to Liberland. I was interested because Liberland, for me, was a professional interest, because I have seen it like a sandbox to develop e-government from zero, in an incredible opportunity for my career. And people from our blockchains at the time were looking at Liberland for a sandbox to develop blockchain inside. And we started to think about that. The two things, e-government and blockchain, can live together and can support each other. And so we started trying to understand how to make an e-government system on blockchain. And at the time, I was not able to understand how, because blockchain, sorry, is stupid. So you can save very stupid data, not complex data, just the proof of existence of data, some hash to prove that in an external blockchain something exists and can be modified. But you can't persist in the blockchain any complex data. And I know government, what is very complex system with very complex data. Can you imagine if we just want to help poor children in school, we have to ask what are that parents that are alone because previously had a marriage and now they have children going to school and look for tax reports that have not enough money. So this is a complex query, and not the most complex. And it is absolutely impossible to do it in modern blockchain. So I was starting thinking how to achieve that. It was a very big challenge. And in some months, I started to write down some rules that allows to put a real relational blockchain, a real relational database in blockchain. So a relational database, what is? It is many kind of data interconnected with relationships. And that data need to be updated, because I know that every day we change the state of records in e-government system. We change the address where we live, we change our name, sometimes our sex, but blockchain is just for immutable things. So every time I change something in my citizen state, I have many relationships, and if I change something, all the relationship cause some waterfall change or all the other data connected to me to preserve immutability of state in blockchain. So I found a set of rules that allows to do that, to have immutable states for mutable data and have relationships between data as first-class citizen. So I started writing my pilot, and I made a project in which I confirm that really we can put a relational database in blockchain. And we developed a so-called hypercube. And hypercube is a database with different state that can be rebuilt during the time. And that state are in blockchain. It is quite complex to say, but when you see the code, you start understanding that the difficult was to find out that rules. And so I thought that, okay, now we can afford a really complex project for liberal government, but I didn't have enough money to do that because, there are hundreds or thousands of hours of engineering work to develop drivers, to develop libraries. And so I started my own ICO that is called Multiversum. Multiversum is it's a project finalized to serve my country. I'm a Liberlander. And of course, it serves also other realities because we discovered that banks have the same problem. Our government, corporation has the same problem. No one has just one transaction of money going from one account to another. It's nothing. We need data of people. We need data of things. We need relation. We need a language in which we can ask this system to give us data. So we started this ICO to make what I call now a blockchain as a service. So a blockchain that when a corporation, a government, an entity would like to use, just pay for using it. So I can decide to use my application to have my data not on a normal database, on blockchain. So with an interface, I create on this global ledger my data set, and with libraries in Java, in .NET, I can easily and cheaply integrate the software with our blockchain. So we succeeded in making blockchain easy to use, easy to develop, and cheap. So we every day look at ICOs that have 30, 40, 50 million of euros for making very primitive logic. In a normal environment, that wouldn't be acceptable. But it is the way to do because people have to maintain a very expensive infrastructure. They have to make very special code with strange rules, with consensus, with other things that normal developers are not exposed to. If I want to have a normal developer, he understands business logic. So he has to deal with that, not with blockchain. So we made things easy for developers. So when I put data in a normal database, I don't have to know how Oracle works or MySQL work. I just have to know the business logic and use drivers to do it under the hood, fast and cheap. So this is what we are doing, and we started it for Liberland. I hope we can achieve to have a government of Liberland based on this technology. Of course, at no charge, because this is my country too. Thank you.